when you feel like you're in bondage and you feel like you're a slave and you owe these people and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're charging you high interest rates. It was the worst feeling for me. And so for me to finally save $10,000, it meant the world to me because I didn't know anybody who had $10,000 of cash on hand. Hey everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Brianna Whiteside, and today's video is about my financial journey. I want to give you some encouragement if you're on a financial journey or some type of wealth building journey, because I know that it can get daunting and you can start to feel a type of way about yourself, right? Like there's a never ending process, and that's just not true, okay? So I want to share a little bit of my story with you so that you can have some type of fuel to keep going. So let's jump right in. I am not a financial expert. I am not a financial guru. I just have to get that out of the way. I am really just sharing my story for encouragement purposes and information, okay? So in 2018, I graduated graduate school with my PhD, and y'all, I felt like I was on top of the world. I was 28. I had been in school my entire life, had never taken a break, and I had secured my first academic job, and it was amazing. I am currently a tenure track professor at a university. I get my first job, I get my first salary because I never had a salary before, and I'm flexing, feeling it. But the issue was that I had a lot of credit card debt. Now, if you're a graduate student and you know anything about graduate school, you don't make a lot of money. I was on a graduate assistantship, and we made like maybe $13,000 a year. Yes, $13,000 a year, wasn't a lot. And I really had to live off student loans, but also my credit cards at the time, right? And so when I moved, I had $10,000 worth of consumer debt, and it was increasing because of the interest that my credit cards were charging. When I finally sat down to look at my consumer debt and even to like count it up, I felt like a failure. I felt so hopeless. I felt like nothing was ever gonna change for me. I just felt down about myself, you all. And if you are in credit card debt, I'm pretty sure, or have been in credit card debt, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? I felt like the scum of the earth, even though I had this PhD, even though I had just secured my first academic job. I just really felt worthless, and I didn't want to feel that way anymore. And so what I had to do was come up with a plan or start taking baby steps towards getting myself out of the hole that I had dug myself in. And so I am a Christian. So what I did was I turned to God and said, hey God, you know, I need financial help. Like I need you to give me strategy on how I can get out of this debt. And I also turned to people who were in a better financial situation than me. So I have an aunt who worked at a bank. I think she was like a CFO, a CEO or something. She was high up at her bank. And I also had a cousin who was an accountant. And I didn't ask them for money. I asked them for strategy. I asked them to help me with strategy on how to get out of this debt. And they gave me some practical advice, like creating a spreadsheet, listing out all of the debts I have, trying to get a secure card or get a different credit card with a high limit that didn't charge interest for a year and try to pay that off. Like they gave me some of the practical steps that are available to consumers, and you know, I took their advice. Some of it did help. Well, all of it did help in one way or another. So eventually, you know, because I'm a teacher, because I'm a student at heart, I started to reach out and seek out more financial resources. So one of the financial resources that I did listen to every day was Dave Ramsey's podcast. Now, I am not endorsing Dave Ramsey at all. I'm just saying that this is what helped me. And the thing that helped me the most on his podcast was him telling people that debt is dumb. When I tell you that I listen to Dave Ramsey every day, all day, tell people that debt is dumb, debt is stupid, I did, because I needed to retrain my brain to believe that debt was dumb, right? I was used to be a person who would go do retail therapy when I really just needed real therapy. that's another story. But I really just needed real therapy, right? And I would go do this retail therapy, and I would go spend this money that I did not have and could not pay off at the end of the year. And as a result, I ended up with more debt, right? Anyway, so I listened to Dave Ramsey over and over again all the time. And, you know, I listened to other financial podcasts, and, you know, I started to kind of retrain my brain. Now, I didn't have a high tolerance for these conversations, but I had to develop one because I wanted to get out of debt. So in January 2019 is when I started the debt-free journey, and I gave myself a year to pay off $10,000 worth of credit card debt. And y'all, I did it in 8 months. Yes, I paid off $10,000 worth of credit card debt in 8 months, and it felt so good. It felt amazing. How did I do it? I budgeted. I told people that I couldn't go out when I wanted to. All my friends were living their life and enjoying their lives, and, you know, I wasn't enjoying my life. I was sacrificing. I was crying. I was eating, you know, at home. I wasn't eating out like that. And then I had adopted this plan of no spend Monday. So I would try not to spend on Mondays every Monday, or I would try to not spend money 2 days a week. And it really, really helped me. You really start to learn your habits, and you also start to learn, like, you really don't need to be spending all the money you're spending, but because you are used to spending this money, you know, you're just gonna go ahead and spend it anyway. Anyway, all of these things helped. My budget helped. The financial podcast helped. Reading books about financial literacy helped. And also denying myself, getting some discipline around my spending. Those things did help. So I paid off this credit card debt. I was taking up extra work, extra jobs to pay off this debt, teaching in summer school, because, you know, we don't, as a professor, I don't teach in the summer, but I was picking up extra classes because I had this desire to go ahead and get out of this credit card debt. And I did it in 8 months, and it felt amazing, right? So this is towards the end of 2019. At the beginning of 2020, I had this crazy idea, like, you know what, Brianna, since you just climbed out of consumer debt in 8 months, you could probably save $10,000, right? You just paid off $10,000. So of course you can save $10,000. And y'all, to be honest, I had never had $10,000 in my bank account in my life, ever, except, nope, not even my refunds were that much. I've never had $10,000 to my name in one account just sitting there. And so that was a major goal of mine to do, right? To have $10,000. Now, I did already have the $1,000 because that's something that Dave Ramsey teaches. Your emergency fund is $1,000, what you should keep there, and everything else you know, throw at the debt, do the debt snowball, all the other things. I did that. I didn't know that the pandemic was gonna happen in March. And yeah, I saved the $10,000, and of course I was still doing the same things. I had started my own company in 2020, so I have a publishing company, helping authors publish books. I was doing a lot of social media stuff and some speaking engagements, and so I was hustling, y'all, to save this $20,000 in the middle of a pandemic, and I did. I saved the $20,000 in 11 months, I think. Yeah, I think it was 11 months. It took me 11 months to save the $10,000. Y'all, I felt amazing. If you've never had something and then you finally get it, I was just on cloud 9. Like, I just remember, and I'm gonna tear up right now because I remember how low I felt. I remember how low I felt when I was in that credit card debt. And that may not seem like a lot of money, $10,000 to some people, but when that comes with an emotional, when you feel like you're in bondage and you feel like you're a slave and you owe these people, and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're charging you high interest rates, it was the worst feeling for me. And so for me to finally save $10,000, it meant the world to me, because I didn't know anybody who had $10,000 of cash on hand, right? I don't come from a family of money. You know, I've gotten everything I have right now out of the mud. And so that was a major milestone for me. And you know what? To be honest, I thought I was good after that. Like, I'm like, yeah, you've done this thing. And I was so, like, proud of myself that I didn't even have a goal for, you know, 2021. I didn't have a goal. As a matter of fact, I knew that we were going to be on furlough at my job right? We went on furlough to avoid budget cuts, and you know, there was nothing that I was going to be able to do about that. So I didn't have any goals, you know what I mean, for 2021. We were going on furlough. That meant that a percentage of my check was going to be absent, and I just didn't feel like I needed to have a financial goal, or maybe I just didn't know to dream beyond the $10,000. So basically God challenged me in 2021 and said, hey, I want you to save $20,000 this year. Y'all know what I said? I know you lying. It is no way in God's green earth, your green earth, that you want me to save $20,000 and you know I'm on furlough, right? And he's like, no, yes, I want you to save $20,000 on furlough, because now you're gonna have to depend on me to do it, right? And so my practical self was like, okay, there's 4 quarters. There's 12 months in a year, there's 4 quarters in the year, then that means I need to save $5,000 every 3 months. I really didn't know how I was gonna do it, but with the help of investing and saving and, you know, my company kind of doing what my company was doing, I was able to go ahead and save the $20,000. And it took me to December to save the $20,000 with the help of, you know, the stock market, making very sound investments, with the help of saving, with the help of, you know, also cutting back on a lot of things. I did save the $20,000. And so I want to just reiterate where I was, right? So 2018, I was in $10K worth of credit card debt. 2019, I saved the $10,000. 2021, I saved an additional $20,000, and so that was $30,000, right? And so now that I have the extra $20,000, I mean, you know, now I got $30,000 at my disposal. I'm like, I'm rich. I did really feel like I was rich though. Like, who do you know that just got $30,000 in a bank account? I didn't know nobody at all. Not one soul. I didn't know not one soul who had $30,000 in their account. Now, mind you, at the time of this recording, I'm 32 years old. In 2021, I was 31 years old when I had turned 32 that year. But who do you know that just got that money laying around? Not many people, especially I'm a girl from the south side of Chicago. So I definitely didn't know nobody, okay? Anyway, y'all, so you see that this is only a 3-year progression, right? Again, 2019, I was in 10K, paid it off, saved 10K in 2020, saved 20K in 2021. Fast forward to 2022, I had no intention on saving anything. I had no financial goals. I didn't even know what else to do. And y'all, God really challenged me to believe bigger, because I'm going to tell you something that I never thought was possible for me. And I hope it encourages you. At the time of this recording, it is July 7th. And in May of 2022, I grossed $100,000. I grossed $100,000 in May, as of May 2022. So I'm working on the next half of my financial goals. And you know what? I don't even know what to say, because it wasn't a get rich quick scheme. It wasn't, this was hard work. This was grit. This was faith. This was trust. This was denial. This was discipline. This was all the things, and all the things had to work together, right? I had to work all the things together to get to this point. And now I'm at a point in my life, and you know, 100 grand is not that much to some people, but it's a lot to me. For a girl from the south side of Chicago. It's a whole lot. And I want to just say, like, now that I'm here, I don't think it's hard to make another 100 grand this year. And that's big faith, right? I don't think it's hard for me to make another 100 grand. I don't, because my faith has been so stretched. My ability, what I've seen God do, what I've seen myself do in partnership with God has been so big and massive that I can't even limit him like that. Like, I also had to get me a CPA this year, because the math is doing something that I can't even anticipate. So I got me a CPA, and he actually asked me like, hey, you know, how much do you think you're gonna make this year? And I'm like, a lot. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna limit God. Tell me how much I need to put aside, right? And y'all, I just hope that that encourages you. Like, I don't have anything deep to say, but I want to encourage you and let you know that it's possible for you, okay? It's possible for you because it was possible for me. I didn't have nothing. I didn't come from nothing. I come from a single parent home. And for me to come from a single parent home and learn all these principles on my own and with like partnership with God speaks of what's really possible for us out here, right? You don't have to live the status quo life. You don't have to play by the rules that people give you. You can create wealth. And that's what I really want to encourage people to do, and to know that you can create wealth, because one is scriptural in Deuteronomy, but also because God has given you that power and that you are a gift. You are a gift and you have gifts. You just have to learn how to use them. Stop being afraid and stop people pleasing. Because I know so many people that are sitting on their gifts and not doing what they're supposed to do because they're afraid of what other people might say. I too was once kind of pigeonholed by what people might say, because I'm monetized on social media, and I was really afraid of what my colleagues might say or see me doing on social media and how they may feel about me. Then I just had to say, Brianna, that's exactly what I said. Brianna, in silence. Get over it. Get over your fear of man and people and do what God has given you to do. There's an open door here. Okay? So that is all. I just wanted to share that tidbit about my story with you, to let you know, like, hey, y'all, it's possible, because it's possible for me. And I'm just a girl from the south side of Chicago who decided to believe God and believe in herself, and has made her first $100,000 from multiple streams of income, right? So this is not just my salary, because I don't make $100,000 on my salary in 5 months. Nowhere close. This ain't just my salary. This is all me monetizing and using all of my gifts, having like at least 4 to 5 different streams of income where I was able to secure this bag, secure this money. And if I'm honest, I really didn't work that hard. Now, I did work hard, but I didn't work that hard though. I didn't. Honestly, it came pretty easy to me. And so I'm really excited about what the second half of the year has for me. And also I'm excited about what's possible. You know, like there's so many financial things that I probably don't even know to dream about, but I'm committed to the journey and I'm committed to learning more. So I hope that encouraged you while you're on your wealth building journey, to know that it's possible for you, and it doesn't have to take your entire life. As I just said, I gave you my timeline from 2019 and now it's 2022. It didn't take 5 years. It didn't. The time shortened, right? And so anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and turn your notifications on, because I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this and other things in the future, right? So I hope that helped you, and I'll talk to you soon.